Hi, McGee here with EURweb.com.
Good
Thank you
morning.
for giving me your time today to speak about this new, electrifying, I should say. I was going to say exhilarating, but electrifying is a proper descriptor. This new electrifying boxing film, Uppercut, which is now playing in theaters, on demand, and on digital. And of course, Luii. This film centers on a female boxer, your character, Tony, who's trying to break down barriers as she redefines what it means to be a woman in today's world. And of course, Ving, you play tough ex-boxing champion Elliot, who accepts the challenge to train Tony. So I'd like to start off by asking you, sir, I mean, what attracted you to this role, and how did you approach occupying the headspace of this complex character, Elliot?
Well, I think the truth really attracted me to this role. Both characters make no apologies for who they are. They accept who they are and then roll the dice and let's see what happens. So that's what I really appreciate about the director and about the film.
And of course, as an experienced actor with a background in action roles, how did you find yourself connecting to the boxing world in this film? Were there any unique, preparations or research that you did for this role?
No, but I would say in the past, I know quite a few boxers like Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson. So that part of it came fairly easy for me. I didn't have to prepare for that.
Similar question for you, Luii. I mean, obviously, as I just stated, your character Tony is a very determined female boxer who faces many challenges we see in this movie. So, how did you prepare to portray such a resilient character?
So on the one hand, of course, there was the physical preparation. So I trained with a former female boxing champion, world boxing champion in Germany, and she trained me, and I had really intense sessions with her. But on the other hand, I think, which for me or for the movie was even more important, to build up this, yeah, relationship between Tony and Elliot, because we might have a boxing movie here, but it's more about really the characters and their development and how they get to know each other. And so this was really interesting and wonderful to meet Ving and to play this young woman. And she is, on the one hand, like, what was so fun that I played this German girl who wanted to be trained by a legend, and in real life I was this young German actress who want to be like eye to eye with this icon Ving Rhames. And so there was this natural transition, and so this, yeah, made it quite easy for me to dive into the story.
This film, the relationship between Elliot and Tony is central to this story. So can you both discuss how the dynamic between your characters evolves throughout the film?
Yeah, I think when they first meet, there's this resistance, and he doesn't want to train her, but she's not taking a no as a no, but she is still trying to convince him. And I think then we have the dancing scene, and this is might be the the time where there is space created and where they two decide to really, yeah, come together and be more curious about each other. Even my character then decides to, okay, this might not work this way, maybe I can learn a lot from this guy, and let's see what happens when I'm open to this, when I listen to him, what he knows and his wisdom and knowledge. And I think this is, yeah, the part where the story becomes more and more interesting between the two of
Add
them.
to that, how would you kind of describe the dynamic, the evolution of Elliot and Tony's dynamic throughout the film?
Well, I would say it happened pretty naturally, and the director had a lot to do with that. We had a short rehearsal period, which we don't normally get in films. And then he really knew who the characters were. And so he gave me a lot of his input on who Elliot is. And then a lot of things just happened naturally between her and I.
How does Tony's character, in your opinion, reflect the strength and resilience, not only as a boxer, but also as a woman fighting for respect in this male-dominated sport?
Yeah, that I think it's so important to tell her story, and especially to young women. And I might play here a white privileged girl, but even though she shows like her generation and how this generation is struggling nowadays because they might not know what they want and they are overwhelmed by so many things, but she is still going to get it, and she becomes this female boss, this lady boss, and this, what you were just saying, in this male dominated industry. And I think to show this character, to show her development, but also her complexity, and that she, yes, sometimes might be annoying to certain people. She is at the beginning to Elliot too, but then she is, yeah, she's tough. And that's what I personally love about this character. And I hope that especially young women feel inspired by her.
Well, let's kind of unpack that a little bit further because that's a great segue to my next question, which is, what do you hope audiences, especially young women in sports, right, take away from Tony's journey in Uppercut?
Yeah, I don't think that it's just about young women in sports, but I think that the relationship between Tony and Elliot is so important for our whole society nowadays, because they are like the essential part of the story. And it's about, it might be a boxing movie, but it's not really about boxing. It's about these two people who are curious about each other, who like really go and think out of their comfort zone. And I think especially in these times where we are so much apart from each other and we are not listening to each other anymore, it's such an important thing that, yeah, audiences and people, I hope, do more listen to each other and are curious about each other.
My last question for you, Ving, what are you most excited about viewers experiencing when they watch Uppercut?
The truth.
Simply put,
Yeah.
the truth and nothing but the truth.
Amen.
Right on.